What's up, folks? I would have thought. I was asked, well, most of my videos are about when people ask me. So ask me, you know, how do I tune this gun, how I tune that gun, yada yada yada. I'm gonna start with Glock. Yep. I know you're not supposed to have Glocks anymore, but you know you do. I see nothing but videos of Glocks, so we still own Glocks. I still own Glocks. I ain't bought none in a while, because, you know, I'm still waiting on the Gen 6 if there it comes out. So, I'm going to give you, and I think I'm pretty good. I might not be Johnny Glock. I think I'm pretty good with tuning Glocks. Now, let's start. Now, this is a Glock 40, 10 millimeter, not the hood Glock 40, which is a 40 cal. This is a Glock 40, 10 millimeter. Custom work, yada, yada, yada. Now, 10 millimeter, I won't tune them like I do a 9 millimeter. Most of my guns are 9 millimeter. That's my favorite round. What's second favorite round? 10 millimeter would be my favorite. It wasn't expensive, but like 9 millimeter, when I wanted my guns to shoot soft and more accuracy, I like the pow of 10 millimeters. That's why I like 10 millimeter. I used to carry 10 millimeter, and I don't anymore because I want more accuracy than over penetration. So anyway, so I'm gonna pretend this is a Glock 34, Glock 17, 9 millimeter. No, let's all clear. All clear. Nothing in the right. I mean, nothing in the chamber. Nothing in the magazine. Nothing. All right. When I get my Glocks, I don't think I ever shot at my Glocks factory. I might. Yeah, I have few, but I already know Glocks are pretty much the same. I know what I want to do with them. So I normally, if I have a tendency to buy another Glock, I buy the parts first. So soon the Glock comes in, and because I'm normally on a 3-day waiting list. Yeah, no matter how many carry permits I have, because I have such a common bullshit name, they won't look my name up. I have a U-pin, forgot it, and maybe I'll find my U-pin again. But anyway, I don't mind my 3-day waiting list. I'm always on 3-day. Got nothing to do with the video, but I thought I shared it. So this is how I would do my Glocks. First thing I would do, well, I used to buy Overwatch triggers. Favorite triggers. I didn't like Apex for Glocks, so they were too big and bulky. Shot well, but they were just too big and bulky. What's the other one now? Timney. The reset wasn't there. I had to actually rig one up. It actually shot pretty well once I rigged it up. But the factory-wise, even the new upgrade return spring, I didn't like. It didn't push my finger back out. Anyway, I'm gonna go what I do to my Glocks right now. Granted, this one has an Overwatch trigger. Amazing trigger. Amazing reset. First thing I do is drop, depends on what I'm going to do to the thing. Well, I buy 2 guide rods. I buy 11 pound, and I get 13 pound. If I'm going to carry it, which I don't carry Glock anymore, I carry a 13 pound guide rod spring. Now I put 11 pound guide rod springs in here because all my Glocks now are range toys now. I don't carry them anymore. So all my Glocks now, other than the 10 millimeters, have 11 pound guide rod springs in there. That sits that nose right down. Stops all that hop. Same with Walters. Drop that Walter down to 11 pound if you're not going to carry it. 13 pound if you're going to carry it. You wouldn't believe everybody crying about, oh, this thing's too snappy. Until you drop that guide rod spring. Drop the guide rod spring. Second thing I do on a Glock is get a ghost connector. Right now I get the Pros 3.5s, I believe it is. I have to look it up. This is what I get. Top of my head. I used to have Angels. Bad thing about Angels, they don't last. Because the little, I don't even know what you call it, little shelf, whatever it is, that your trigger keeps pushing on, will actually push that thing up. And now you have a hood gun. Because that would thing, once that thing pushed up, it will go full auto. And please don't do it. I don't recommend you do it. You'll go to jail. As soon as your thing double taps, do not shoot that gun again. Get rid of that thing. So you get rid of that ghost connector. Get a real ghost connector. I mean, a Pro 3.0. And here's what I'm talking about. When I edit this, I have it right here. But I just don't remember the name of it. It's been a while since I actually did a Glock. Anyway, put that in there, and that will give you that reset you need. Third thing I do is, and this is all my guns, all my Glocks, unless it's a 48. I don't have a 43 anymore. It's a 48. Put a 4-pound striker spring in there. 4 pound. That gun will still eat anything. I have yet to have a failure on a Glock because my light striker springs. And if you follow me, I'm going to tell you again. If you don't, it's going to be a shocker to you. On my Glock 48, I got a 2-pound striker spring in there. 2 pound. And why that seems amazing? Because if you look at the strikers spring or striker on a 48, 43, 42 as opposed to the other 9mm and everything, it's shorter. But Glock will use that same 5.5, 6 pound striker spring on there. That's why you always get a 43, 48. That trigger just seems like a 9-pound trigger because they use the same spring as they do on the longer strikers. That striker's not that long, so it doesn't need that long spring. Put a 2-pound regular whatchamacallit, so it's probably I don't know once it's crushed or pulled down on a smaller striker, if it's still 2 pound, because they don't give you a 2 pound pull. I mean, I get down to 2 pound, but again, that's me. Striker spring, yada yada yada. Now what I do, and I hate, Overwatch, I love y'all to death, but I'm gonna give y'all a game. This is what I'm saying, guys. And I did this just to how I found this guy. I was just looking for a shoe. I wasn't really going to put too much money on this Glock. I just wanted to tune. I said, man, I'm going to stop putting big money on Glocks. I'm trying to get away from polymers. So the guy called Daniel something, but it's DFD. Again, let me find him. And I found him on eBay. Sorry, not Amazon, eBay. I said, yeah, I like the look of the shoe. Only thing I wish it was metal, but it's polymer. Polymer shoe. And I'm not saying this is the only shoe that works, but now this works, I'm staying with it because I get the colors I need. They got all black. They got gold, black and gold, black and yellow, black and red, black and blue. I should have pulled a gun out. I had tricked out with that trigger in there. That trigger shoe on a stock trigger bar, ghost connector, striker spring, 4-pound striker spring, and that 13-pound, 11-pound guy rod spring. You put some work on a mechanic, yes sir. You put some work on a Walter. And you know how much I love mechanics and Walters. You put some work on it. Matter of fact, let me go find one. Hold that thought. Let me bring that gun up. Hold on. All right. Here we go. Clear it. Nothing in. Nothing in. This is the setup I'm talking about. I wanted to show that my 40 because I got the slide all done. I think it's a little prettier, but this is my last Glock I bought. 17L. Let me show you what I got. 17L. All right. This is the DFD, if I'm saying it right, DFD trigger. And hopefully, I mean, he don't pay me. He don't know me. He don't even know I exist. I just use his triggers. Again, it's a polymer trigger. And I like the little texture. It actually matches my stippling. You can get the yellow, you get different colors on all he has. And I think these triggers are called, well, I can't see numbers on, anyway. Yeah, they're down in there, and yeah. They're how can I say this? They're low. They're under a 30-year-old. I believe. Yeah, I believe they're like a 29-year-old. They're around 29 years old. I believe that's what they were, 29 years old. Anyway, I'll see if I can get that to you also. Anyway, here we go. Glock trigger. And that's the initial pull. Take up. Stacking. Look at this reset. Oh, you want to see it again? That's a Glock. And this is probably 2 pounds. 2 pounds. Eventually, if I go back to these things, I ain't shot this in a while either. I'm probably have to do this up. Send it out. Anyway. Just thinking in my head while I'm sitting here. There it is. Glock 17L. With that trigger. So 11-pound guide rod for range, 13-pound guide rod for carry, ghost connector. And if you don't like light triggers, but you want a short reset, leave the factory spring. Or you can go 5-pound if you want to just get a little lighter. The striker spring, and I had this argument with a few people, the striker spring makes the on Glocks makes the trigger pull lighter, because it actually pulls that trigger spring like a bow and arrow before it lets it go. That's why that trigger is lighter with a lighter trigger spring. Yes, someone argued with me on that. That's all I got. Let me know. And I should have some more how-tos. And I wish I could actually pull these guns apart, but YouTube is, ooh, they got me on a magnifying glass right now. But I've tried to get some more videos out to you and some how-tos. All right, I'm out.